Hello, my name is bryiiau. If you are new here, which you most likely are, I make art-related videos and shorts. Today I wanted to shift gears and do something like a video essay. Recently, the topic of AI art has been unavoidable in the community. You love it or you hate it, it is here, and who knows what that means for the future. I know many people have spoken about this, but I just wanted to put my 2 cents into it. As an artist myself looking to break into the industry, there's a sense of uncertainty and fear. I sat down and I really thought about how I would approach this topic and what I wanted to say. Art has always been a deep passion of mine for as long as I can remember, and ironically, this new technological force comes along just as I am old enough to professionally pursue it. So, without further ado, let's jump right into the video. I hope you enjoy. Let's start off simple. What is art? Art is a highly diverse range of human activities engaged in creating visual, auditory, or performed artifacts, artworks, that expresses the author's imaginative or technical skill and are intended to be appreciated for their beauty or emotional power. So what I draw from this definition and what I want to highlight is that art is a human activity. I will say definitions are very subjective and there's no one true answer, but I believe this one sums it up perfectly, at least for me. All my feelings about AI art pretty much come back to this definition. Art is human, so where is the humanity in AI art? Let's dive into that a little more. Art is human. The very first humans to walk this earth made art. It's like the action of creating is innate. Almost as natural as walking and talking, art is another human extension. The image above is an example of some of my favorite works of art. African rock art that was made around 100,000 BC. Even though they're pretty simple in nature, they are literal representations of the genesis of mankind and creation coinciding. For as long as there's been people, there has been art. Here's another example from the Upper Paleolithic period, dating from around 40,000 to 10,000 BCE. These also showcase the revolution of abstract thinking and symbolism, as well as culture-defining ideas. Thinking about the definition of art and how art and the human experience are bound, we can define art even beyond paintings on a wall. Art is therapy. Art is education. Art is expressive. Art is gut-wrenching. Art is also political. As the dawn of structure and civilization arose, art was right there with it. Rulers and regimes would commission artists for pieces to propagate ideologies and show dominance. This is a piece called The Relief of, and I may be butchering this pronunciation, but The Relief of Ashurbanipal killing a lion from 645 to 635 BC. It's an example of a commission made by the Assyrian kings to depict their military victories and divine rights rule. When words were not powerful enough, these people turned to art to spread their message and act as a reminder and an account of their history. This is perhaps the most well-known example of political art, the pyramids in Egypt, an absolute insane reminder of the ancient Egyptians' devotion and religion. So now that we got that little art history lesson out of the way, let's talk about AI. How does AI mix with this pure and ancient thing? As defined by NASA, AI, or artificial intelligence, refers to computer systems that can perform complex tasks normally done by human reasoning, decision-making, creating, etc. This can apply to a wide range of technologies. So let's get a bit more specific. An artificial system, or at least the kind we talk about in reference to AI art, can be defined as something that can perform tasks under varying and unpredictable circumstances, can also learn from experience and improve performance based on the data it receives. This is exactly how arguably one of the most well-known AI systems work. ChatGPT. Straight from their website, it tells you ChatGPT is an artificial intelligence-based service that you can access via the internet. You can use ChatGPT for a wide range of tasks, including organizing and summarizing information, assisting with translations, analyzing or generating images, inspiring creativity and ideas, and other everyday activities. ChatGPT is designed to understand and respond to user questions and instructions by learning patterns from large amounts of information, including text, images, audio, and video. During training, the model analyzes relationships with the data, such as how words typically appear together in context, and uses that understanding to predict the next most likely word when generating a response, one word at a time. Similarly, models that generate other forms of context like images learn patterns in how pixels relate to each other and to associated captions in the training data. So a key takeaway is its ability to recognize patterns in order to make predictable and quote-unquote correct answers. I personally believe that this is a huge misconception. When I talk to people in my life about ChatGPT, they don't understand that anything it spits out exists somewhere else. It's not original. The computer does not find your original work. It recognizes the question you ask and mix and matches an answer from any and every source it can take from, including other people's chat requests. That is one of the biggest problems. It's like a plagiarism 3000. When college students use it to write papers and wonder why it gets flagged, it's because ChatGPT is taking a little from someone else's work from here and there, mixing it up and spitting it back out. That is very problematic. I also want to mention that I'm, not above this. I don't stand on a moral high ground. There was a time, specifically around COVID, we all know how that went, where ChatGPT was like a godsend that, magically knew all the answers to my homework and specific questions. I really didn't think anything of it at the time, but these AI systems are much more than your older brother who has all the answers to the math homework, right? They're actually soul-sucking supercomputers that demand staggering amounts of electricity. In turn, fast-forwarding the global warming crisis with the increase of carbon dioxide emissions and pressures on the electric grid. Let me put this in perspective. Hundreds of millions of people are requesting this supercomputer to search through thousands and thousands of patterns and data sets to answer questions like, give me a list of low-sodium foods for my diet. Unlike Google searches, AI training clusters require around 7 to 8 times the energy of a regular Google search. These computers are stored on data farms, or data centers, which have been around since like the 40s. These temperature-controlled buildings also depend on a great water supply to cool the computers. Living near a data center can mean dealing with a disrupted ecosystem. The race for AI integration is similar, at least to me, to the space race where everyone is running around trying to be the first to do this thing, not caring how safe or eco-friendly it is. The climate cannot keep up and will not keep up with the resources that these AI data farms rely on. And it will be all of us who get the short end of the stick. The town of Memphis is the latest victim to this phenomenon. Here, an abandoned factory was bought out by Elon Musk's AI company. They plan to create the world's largest supercomputer. The industrial pollution it has caused, with its gas-powered turbines and water supply demands, many residents are not happy. Our health was never considered. The safety of our communities was never, ever considered. Sarah Gladney reports to CNN. It is worth mentioning that this is home to a large population of Black folks. If you are unfamiliar with economical racism, it in short disadvantages those subjected to negative or polluted environments. These conditions are disproportionately challenged in low-income minority communities as opposed to rich and wealthy communities. Speaking of Elon Musk, with his very public and infamous acquisition of X, or Twitter, he's developed a built-in AI system named Grok. Grok is another example of how the race for AI innovations is proving to do more harm than good. Grok has the ability to produce AI images upon request, kind of like ChatGPT. As can be imagined, this feature was immediately abused to harass people in media and make crude images, most notably Taylor Swift. If you don't know, Grok was used to create a disgusting and sexual image of Taylor Swift sometime last year. If someone with that amount of money and status is struggling to combat the harassment that Grok is allowing, imagine everyday people. Even as I scroll through my timeline, I see examples of this harassment. A woman would post a very normal selfie, and someone would ask Grok to remove her top or shorten her dress. Where are the legal protections for this kind of thing? Why aren't there any safeguards? If you are keeping tally, so far AI plagiarizes, pollutes, And if it's in the wrong hand, it becomes a supercomputer misinformation. There is no precedent for this type of technology, and our lawmakers are failing us. Marjorie Taylor Greene, if you are unfamiliar, is a far-right politician. She's a U.S. representative for the Georgia's 14th Congressional District. Recently, she came under fire after voting for Donald Trump's tax and spending bill without reading it through. Well, what did she vote for, you may ask? Stated in the bill was a provision that would prevent states from regulating artificial intelligence systems for 10 years. That is pretty bad. We've seen all the messed up things AI can do. Imagine what that would look like in 10 years with free reign and nothing your state representatives can do. Greene stated if she had read this bill, she would have never approved it. Why in the world are you not reading bills before you sign them? I'm sorry, but is she an idiot? Shifting gears back to OpenAI's ChatGPT, I wanted to talk about the privacy issues it summons. During chats in which one might ask ChatGPT something, it stores all the data that's provided within the chat, along with your name, email, and contact details. This is all to help to train the system and improve its overall accuracy. Pretty standard, right? Not when the information it's storing is incredibly private and completely volunteered. This user writes, just had a 1-hour convo with ChatGPT about how I'm feeling. Feels like it's the only friend, lover, and therapist I have right now. There's no better therapist on planet Earth than ChatGPT. Don't argue with me about this. Low-key, using ChatGPT as a therapist because I can't afford a professional. There's layers to that one. Me using ChatGPT as a personal therapist, editor, vacation planner, meal prepper, etc. ChatGPT is actually my built-in therapist. I don't burden anyone with my problems anymore. Have we all lost our minds? Companies don't even have to sneakily steal our data anymore. We give more than they could ever ask for free. Here, this user makes an interesting statement. Be careful with using ChatGPT as a therapist. It will isolate you in a bubble of narcissistic delusion. It is a turbocharged yes man that will rapidly spew out intellectual justification for what you are in fact always in the right. I absolutely agree. In case you are watching this as someone who vents to ChatGPT, the reason it's working so well for you is because ChatGPT is using an algorithm based on your personal data to best tell you what you want to hear. Speaking of personal data, why not talk about the biggest leech of them all, Meta AI and Mark Zuckerberg? Oh, brother, some people may watch this and think, well, what's so wrong with companies having our information? Well, let's ask Zuckerberg, who used all that great juicy data and fed it to voter profiling companies. Certain political ads were pushed onto people based on their data. Misinformation, propaganda, specifically tailored to that individual. That's really bad. Look how that impacted our country. Look who's president. I encourage you to look into Mark Zuckerberg's legal case and just how much data Facebook was recording about its users. I think there's a documentary about it called The Great Hack. Check it out. It makes me think that AI is being sold as this amazing tool when in reality, it's just another means to collect information about us. I don't know, maybe I should take off my tinfoil hat, but it's also worth mentioning how this is coupled with the increase of IRL streams. Instead of being in your room, streaming has taken to the streets, filming real life people every day. Now this could mean nothing at all, but it's almost like they're trying to make it seem normal that no matter where you are always subject to be filmed and documented. That's a little bit suspicious, but like I said, what do I know? If you've made it this far in the video and you're thinking, what can we do about all of this? Well, I can offer you this. As the supply in artificial intelligence systems grow, ChatGPT, Grok, Meta, we hold a bit of power as the target consumers. If we reject these things, refuse to engage with or buy them, the supply will shrink. This is, of course, the law of supply and demand. Be that angry Karen in the store and reject AI. This would be crazy, but say one day a major animation studio tries to test the waters with an all AI movie. Boycott it. A store tries to integrate AI systems. Boycott it. A company you work for demands use of AI in your work. Hey man, maybe quit. We can fight against this. So, Back to the main question of this video. Is AI art a threat to real artists? Well, I think back to this definition. AI art is not art because art is innately human. AI art is an oxymoron. As long as there are people like me and you, there is no threat. There is only the motivation to work harder and create, to exist as an artist in a world that is trying to erase us. That will never happen, of course, because humanity and art are interlocked. It has been since the beginning of time. Thank you so much for watching this video. Everything here is my personal opinion, but I love to know what you think in the comments down below. Again, I make art-related content, so be sure to like and subscribe for more.